and the blood.
Okay.
I can see it better with those.
Triangle in the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blood works well and the triangle works well with gold.
On the 15-minute, is that where we should look for the drop and the cross?
Yes,
On the
because
15.
be looking out for me to send it, let you know guys know when it's actually breaking out. But you want to chop it up. Every time you chop up and take all your pips out of a break, you want to always do it on the 15-minute. Because if you do it on the only reason I mark up on the higher time frames is just so I can identify trend, identify where the market is going to go, or where I think is going to go. And once I identify those things on the higher time frame, as you can see, I got my trend lines. And the reason why I look all messy is because I chopped it up on lower time frames. That's why I put a lot of lines in between. So that's why I have all them lines right there. So don't worry about that. But next time I'm just gonna keep a clear chart so I can show you exactly why I determined what I determined. Because here, as you can see, this is one consolidation zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from out of this consolidation zone to the next consolidation zone, and that's where it's hovering right now. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for it to break from this consolidation zone and come to the next one.
Wow.
So from here to here is 43 pips. And then I'm expecting it to come, once it break out of this consolidation zone, to come to the next one. And from this point to this point, it's about 200 plus pips. And it's going to continue down all the way till it get to this consolidation zone. It's a possibility. Now, it's not 100%. It's just what you forecast or the pair to do. This work on any pair. Once you mark it up, like I said, I always tell you the market always does the same things continuously. It only can do two things, or three things. It can break up, consolidate, or break down. And you mark up your charts to determine the highest probability of which way it's going to go. And you are looking for the consolidations to give you a blueprint of what it's going to do next. So I'm just say, for instance, we were in this consolidation area right here. And you see how it wicked 3 times up here. Let's call it a triple top. So being at it wicked 3 times here, and the candle was starting to go towards the top.
The buy.
Now?
Went up in a buy?
No, yes, but I was saying it was starting to hover around the resistance line.
Okay.
That's the indication that it's going to break to the upside. Now, had it been hovering down to the support line, that would have gave you an indication that it was trying to break for sale. That makes sense?
Yes.
So whenever you put your lines, that's what you want to be looking for. You want to be looking, first off, you want to look and see where, let's just say all this back here hadn't happened yet. You would have identified it was in a downtrend, and about 9 times out of 10, when it breaks from, and it broke, let's see, about 1,000 pips, over 1,000 pips, 1,400 some odd pips before it actually started consolidating. So you want to identify your trend. It came out of a downtrend and it started to consolidate. Mm-hmm. And common sense will tell you if it breaks down that far, eventually it's going to want to go back up. So it consolidated here, it broke up, consolidated again, but this consolidation zone is about 100, 200 pips. Just with, hold on, I'm going to mute you guys because somebody's. So once it comes out of this consolidation zone, you want to look to determine which direction it's going to go. It came out of almost a 1,200, 1,400 pip breakout over days, and it started to consolidate. So once it did that, you wanted to pinpoint which way or where the candle was hovering closest to. It was hovering on the resistance line, not the support line. So that would indicate to me that it's going to break upward, which it did. It broke up and it started kind of consolidating again. And what did it started doing again? It started hovering again at the resistance point. So that tells me again that it wants to break upward. And that's what it did. So it broke upward for about 500 pips, and then it started consolidating. Started hovering at the support line, so it broke down for about 100 pips, and then it started consolidating again. It broke up past here, came up to this level, and started consolidating, broke up to this level. And this is what I call a flag. And once it came out of that flag, it broke down to where we are currently. And it's so overbought, like from this point to this point, it's almost 1,600 pips. So the market wants to come back down again, and that's what it's doing. So today, as you can see, it's selling almost up to the week. And I give it to about maybe Monday or Tuesday, all this is going to be red. So, and what I do is once I identify what the market is going to do, I break it down now. So I go to the 15-minute, and within the 15-minute, it'll give me a picture of what it's going to do out of here. So as you see, it's hovering on the support line. So what does that mean? That means it wants to start going down again. So it already came from here, and it came to this support line, which was about 63 pips. So this is from yesterday. So if you guys are watching the market, you would have been able to capitalize on these 63 pips. Even on the pullbacks were about 16 to 15 pips. This one was about 24 pips. So if you're drawing lines, whenever it wicks, it'll tell you what it's going to do next. So if you were to put a line here, when you saw that green candle form, it was an indication that it was going to be pullback. So once you identified the pullback, you would have jumped in for your 14 or 7 or whatever you were comfortable trying to get, and you would have got that. And once this red candle would have formed, you would have just moved your line here. So once it came here and you saw it started to wick, and then you saw this red candle form, you just move your line to where that red candle is at, and it'll tell you that it's going back into a buy, to a sell.
Can you go over that one more time for me, please?
So let's just say you were watching this crossover candle right here, this crossover arrow, and you decided to jump in this on that crossover candle. If you jumped in there, let's say you jumped in right when you saw it, you would have got about 5 pips, and then it would have pulled back. But when you started to see where the second candle wick and that green candle form, that indicates a pullback. So it pulled back 3 pips, but then it started to come back down. So what I do is whenever I start to see candles wick, that's where I put my resistance line or support line right where it starts to wick, because right when it starts to wick, that's telling you it's hitting a zone that has already been at. Because you can see every time it wicked here, because this is where the market is. So it wicked here, but if you go back, you see it was already wicking here at one point. And if we go even further back, I guarantee it wicked somewhere else down the line here. So let's see. See? So all it's doing is hitting resistance and support line that's already been at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So whenever you see a candle, like say for instance, where we jumped into this breakout right here, right? And we saw it breaking out clearly. And it broke out and it didn't pull back until it got to this green candle. So what I would have did, as soon as I saw that green candle forming and I saw this wick happening, I would have put my resistance line right underneath it. It didn't pull back much, but it still pulled back. So I would have gotten I don't know how many picks. I would have gotten like 3 or 4 take profits, and I wouldn't have gotten to this candle because it didn't form a second green candle. So I would have just jumped back in once I saw it started to break through this support line. And you see this candle form, I would have jumped back in. Took about 2 or 3 take profits, and then I would have waited. After I saw that green candle form, I would have moved my line to right there where I saw it wick. I would have put it right where it started wicking, the body of the candle, and it pulled back about 18 pips. You could have got in it, but I most likely wouldn't have unless I noticed what the pullbacks were doing. Now, a lot of the times what I do, I just measure each candle, each pullback, and that typically tells you how many pips is going to pull back each time. So let's say it started to pull back right here. So it pulled back about 26 pips. Let's measure this candle. It pulled back about 27 pips. So it typically, if you can start identifying when you start seeing pullback, when you start moving your support and resistance line down to identify it, you just measure each time it pull back. So had I measured this, when this candle got here, then I started seeing it wick and I moved it here, I would have probably jumped in it because the last pullback was over 27 pips and I clearly could have got my 14 out of it. That makes sense? So that's how I trade pullback. I measure where it wants pulled back. I just go to each candle, and it typically pull back about the same amount. You see, 27 pips here, 26 pips. It's about the same.
Okay, so the three looking at the market now, the 3 candles that's currently showing right now, is that considered a reversal or it's just called this drawdown because the trend's still going down?
Right. I would never trade against the trend. I would trade pullback, but I would never look for a long-term move when a trend is telling me it's still selling. Right now, it's just pullback. So here you could have jumped in on this pullback and made 14 pips. You came back down, another 14 pips. You just gotta identify what it's doing, and this line will help you do that. So right now it's in pullback, so I will put my line right there, and I will be expecting the next candle to either break to this consolidation area, which was right here. This is a consolidation area right here. So I will look forward to, and the reason why I say that is because where these candles with that is considered a consolidation within a consolidation, because this big blue line is a consolidation on the 1 hour. But when you put it to a smaller time frame, you see more movement. You don't see all this when you're on the hour because the candles are it's an hour candle. So in that hour candle, all these little candles. Make sense? So,
yes. So this is resistance or support. So we put the line up.
Top is resistance and the bottom is support. It's like a house. This is the bottom.
No, I got it. But I got it. So right now, this is a support line, and you're trying to see if it's going to break through that.
I want to see if it's going to either break through or reject and come back up to this support, this resistance line. And if it do, I mean, you can clearly get 14 pips. But I anticipating it continue down to this structure right here.
Okay.
Is everybody clear?
Very.
Anybody have any other questions about that?
Okay, one more question. So your support, if it breaks through, will then be your resistance.
Right, because all you're going to do is take this line and move it underneath the next candle. So if, say for instance, this green candle, the next candle becomes a red candle. It breaks through and starts to wick right here. I don't know exactly where it's going to wick. I'm just, guesstimating, say here. That would be my new support line, because the windows,
Okay, I got you.
the candle's going to come down at some point and wick somewhere around here. And that's indicating that it's touching a support line that it was once at. So it's going to determine from there if it wants to go back up on the pullback or continue down.
Okay.
And
All right,
that's just how you follow the market all day. Like, that's just how you follow. If you're in front of your computer and you want to catch pips like all day, we're doing two to four. But right, if you want to just catch, that's how you can catch it all day. If you have time to be in front of your computer, you just keep moving these lines down.
I am in front of, but I did some crazy stuff last week, and I didn't understand that part.
Okay.
Now I do.
Until the candle the finish wicking and the next candle start, or once it start wicking, then you move your line.
Right. Once you see right now, see how it's just wicking back and forth. It's not really going up or down. It's because it's testing. Whenever you see a candle doing that, it's testing. So that's why I put the line right under where the candle is, because that's going to tell me if it's going to reject or if it's going to break through.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to wait for this 4-minute candle to form and tell us if it's going to try to continue up or break through and continue to whichever area the next consolidation zone will be.
But either way, you should be able to get pips out of that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
But the thing is, you have to do your homework. I wouldn't just jump out. Even though it break through, it can very well turn around and retest that line. Like, it can break through to this point, right? Let's see how many pips it can. It came out down about 10 pips. So you could have got 10 pips off this candle, but you see how it came back up and it stopped right there?
Right.
So it would have pulled back. How many pips? It would have pulled back 9 pips.
Yeah, so you got.
You know what I'm saying? So you wanna make sure. So what I do, I will wait. Say for instance, I had my line at this candle right here and it broke through. I would have waited to the second candle to get in, take 7 or so, and then I would have just got out and then waited for the next candle, because this candle started to wick and just do what it's doing now.
Okay, that's what I was asking. You you put your line there when it wick, but then you'll wait to the second candle to see what it's going to do.
Right. Yeah, you don't never want to jump in that wicking candle, because you don't know what it's going to do next. It can very well go up or go down. You don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Thanks.
Right. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait this 2 minutes and see what this candle does, because it's still testing that one line. And I'm going to put this back up here as if we didn't know what it was going to do.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. So
Yes.
this candle is red.
I can't really hear you.
If the next candle is red, is that an indication that it's ready to break that resistance point? Or that?
Yes, it's telling you that it wants to continue to buy down.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it can be. Yes, it's definitely an indication that it wants to break through, because we're anticipating a sell. So in order for it to sell, it's going to have to come down. So once that candle turns red, it can still very well continue to test this line, but it is an indication that it wants to break through it. So yes, that's absolutely right. See, now it's turning red.
Mm-hmm.
So once this next candle form, it should either break through or reject. Because as I told you guys before, whenever it breaks a resistant line, 9 times out of 10, it'll come up, come back down, test, retest, and then break. And it does it over and over. Come up, it came down here, came back up, test the line, and then broke. So that's what it's doing right now. See, it broke through, Now let's see what this next candle does.
It'll come up, test, break.
It'll
Basically.
come up, it'll go in a certain direction. Say, for instance, you want to go in a buy. It'll go up to that resistance line, come back down, then retest that resistance line before it breaks through. So it just broke through.
Oh, I see that.
Now let's see what the next candle does. And I want you guys to be testing this in your demo before you do it in your live account. So let's see what the next candle does. See, it's still retesting. We got 14 minutes on this candle. Let's see what it does. I mean, 14 seconds. 6 seconds now.
Uh-oh.
All right, see, now it broke through. Now let's see this. See how the candle want to go back up and retest? That's why you always want to wait. You don't just want to pull a trigger. You want to see what that candle is going to do, because it wants to all these candles want to do is just retest the area it's already been. So even though this candle broke through, that indicates it wants to go down. You want to wait for this candle to determine your entry, because it still wants to come. It looks like it wants to come up and retest, but it can retest and get rejected, and that's when you enter. That makes sense?
So if it retests and it rejects, that means it's gonna break that support.
If it rejects that line, it's going to break down. If it doesn't reject, it's just going to go back up into that consolidation zone. See? It didn't reject it. It's rejecting it now. It's retesting, but it didn't quite reject it yet. So it might very well just go back up and retest this line up here if it breaks through. So whenever you see this is a classic example of when not to enter a trade, because if you would have gotten this trade thinking it was going to break down, it would have just reversed on you and you would have lost 6 pips so far. So you want to wait till this candle either rejects or break through before you enter.
Wow, that is good.
See what it's doing. 5 minutes. I mean, every time frame it pretty much shows the same thing. It's still testing. Let's go back. It broke through. It broke on the 5 minute. Let's see what it's doing. Okay. On the 15. But yeah, that's how I trade gold. And if you guys can see that, you can make a lot of money. Do anybody use this what you call it? I'm thinking the name of it. No, not the Fibonacci.
TDI
Was it?
is the TDI the indicator at the bottom.
No. The auto fib. There you go. I think of the auto fib right here. This auto fib that gives you the stop loss, entry price, all that stuff.
No, but do you suggest we use that?
Is that
I
pivots?
suggest-
You say auto grid or pivots?
Auto fib. FIB. Fib.
FID?
This is what Kina gave us at the shut-in. It was an indicator that it pretty much calls trades according to what it sees. I mean, it typically, it basically does it for you. I mean, it makes it simple. It's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it's obviously following my on gold right now. It's pretty much doing what I expected gold to do.
How many times have you seen it do basically what you predicted?
I haven't used it a lot, so I don't know. I haven't really back tested it too much because I trust a good old markup. But if you guys want to test it out in your demo, feel free. I know Kena used it a lot, and we compare notes when she have hers on and I do my markups. We'll compare notes to see how close or accurate it is. And from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's why I put it on here, just to compare myself. I wanted to see just how close it was, but it's pretty decent.
Because I was using it at one point, and then it started throwing me off, so I stopped using it.
Yeah, I just took it was just too much on my charts for me, so I just took it off and just went
But
to.
I am looking at this line with the gold. It seems like it's hitting the zones pretty good.
Now these are all the markups I put in,
Hmm.
and they're all in profit.
Wow.
So marking up is beast, man. I'm telling you, learn the skill. Really take notes and learn the skill.
That is good right there.
So how many trades do you get per day by marking up the charts, Alfred?
It depends. It depends. It depends. It just depends on when it break out. The only reason, like I told you, marking up the charts just gives you a definitive. Well, I can't say definitive, but it gives you a overall overlook of what the market is capable of, where it may go. And once you identify that, and then you see a breakout, that's when you jump in. Like here, I saw this blood candle, and that's when I jumped in right about here, and I was able to get the 103 pips you see right there.
Wow.
And that was just from me knowing that it was oversold and it needed to come up because it was in the lower Bollinger Band. So
Wait,
that's how
so it's gold. Do they calculate pips different? Like, what do you mean 130 pips?
130 pips. It went up 130 pips from when I entered.
Really?
Yeah.
Gold calculates by point.
Wait, how long did it take though? How long?
This was all today. Like
130 pips in one day?
Yeah, because it was a breakout. Like that's what I'm telling you, when breakouts happen, it happens quickly. Like whenever I tell you gold breaking out, if anybody's available and I'm home, I want everybody to get on the Zoom, and I'm gonna show you how to eat it up.
Oh wow! So, how often does it break out?
That depends as well. It just depends on market structure. Typically gold breaks out at least 2 times a week, as many as 3 times a week. So
Right.
yeah, so you can potentially eat off of gold about 300 pips in a week. I've ate off of gold about 300 pips in a week, and this was back when that's why Tanya always mad at me, because I usually just let it ride like I'm doing on these. But I ate these.
Yeah, I got my calculator out right now. I'm trying to divide 300 by 14 pips. Like,
But see, this is my demo though, so she can't get mad at me.
Trades.
Right, it's 21 trades.
Okay, Alfred, go back to.
We're not gonna look at those. We're looking at gold. I was just showing you that you don't try to get all up in there. And no, we're looking at gold.
No. What you marked up for gold? You have a chart that you marked up for gold. I want to get the numbers, see if they're match mine. I think it's on the
got
day.
so many lines in there. I can't even tell you which one are you trying to see, because I got all the chopped up.
This one.
Okay.
This one.
It's a lot of different numbers though, and they all mean different things. I don't know. Maybe if you can tell me, I can try to help you decipher which ones you need.
Okay. That's fine. I don't know how to explain it quite yet. So I'll work on it, and then when I understand it a little bit more, I'll have more questions.
Do you have what you need off this page though?
Yep.
Okay. But so if I'm home, either way, I'm gonna let you guys know when gold breaks out, when it breaks. But if I'm home and you guys are home, we can jump on a Zoom and try to eat that gold up together.
I'm always home.
So again, I just go to the 15-minute and I just eat it up. Like I got in here, don't know where I got
That's 15 for 44. That's on the 15 for 44 pips.
it. Yes.
Mhm.
This one is
And
on.
and this is your blood.
No, this is the regular strategy.
The regular piece.
But see, the thing is, what you guys don't realize, even though you had the blood strategy, the triangle strategy, Dr. T strategy has all that in it. Like, see here, this is the regular strategy. You see that blood right there? See the crossover right here? It's the same thing. All we did was take off the noise. So if I was to go here and go to the blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. All it is, you don't have, well, I put the Bollinger Bands in there just for me, but you wouldn't have well, you actually would have the Bollinger Bands, but you just don't have all the other noise in there. But it's the same thing. Now, if I go right back, if I go to the cross, the triangle, see how I called the triangle right here? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called
Right.
the Dr. T strategy. It called it right here as well. It's all in there. It's just, we just broke it down so it'll be easier to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, it's a totally different strategy. It's really not. It's just, we broke it into sections. We took everything out and called it, she called it the triangle, but it's still right here. You can clearly see that it crossed over here. You can clearly see the blood right here. It's the same thing.
Okay, and Alfred,
Alfred,
you on CHF JPY. You just analyzing a different pair right now.
Well, I would just, I'm not really analyzing. I was just showing.
I'm at a trade for, and I was like, that ain't what mine look like. I'm getting confused. Okay, got it.
No. I was just showing them how you can see all the other strategies in Dr. T strategy. It's all there. Like the blood is there, the crossover arrow is there. If you have it on your chart, like I put the crossover arrow on all my charts, whether it's my markup chart, because I have a different template for just about everything. I have my markup template for when I do my markups. I have two different markup templates. I have my markup 2. It's just pretty much a blank template, and then I do my markups from there on the day chart, and then I go to my markup 2, which is just markup 1, which is just a different way to look at the strategy. I took a couple things out of there. But yeah, so again, everything's in there. So when you go to, this is my default strategy, which is Dr. T strategy. The crossover arrow's there, the blood is there. I put everything in this strategy. So if I just wanted to trade this strategy, I could just do it with everything already in there. Somebody else had a question.
I was gonna say, when you were on CJ, are you up 75 pips in CJ?
Yes.
So how long you been in that trade?
All these trades I put in today.
Oh my God.
All these trades were put in today. And I closed out of like 6 of them already.
When do you go past the 14 pips and let it just ride?
I used to just let it ride. I don't do that anymore. I just get my 14 pips and get out. I'm showing you in my demo. See, this is what I do. I mark up my charts. I activate them in my demo when I see the breakouts, and then I go to my live account and chop it up that way. So what you're seeing is it running in my demo account.
Oh, okay. This is
because I'm getting ready to say.
No, I will never go against what Dr. T tell me to do.
Exactly. I'm like, why is he over?
See, if you notice up here, it say demo account. That's my demo account.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is I activate my breakouts and my markups inside of my demo account. Then I go to my live account, and then I chop it up on my live account. So I will put my 14 pips in here. And what I do is I do one click. So once I have one click, I hit it, boom, put my lot size in there and just change it every time I hit my 14. So what you guys can do, which is an easier way, is you come to your view terminal, right? So down here, instead of putting in pending orders for 14 pips all the way up, what I would do is I would wait till it hit 14 pips, close it out, go over here, change my lot size to whatever, enter back in. Once I hit my 14 pips here, close it out, and it's easier that way. So when you see a breakout, you can just chop it up like that instead of taking 10 minutes. Let me put my buy stop and my sell stop. You done lost like 15 to 20 pips trying to put in a pending order. So you can just open up your terminal and do that one click trade, hit buy or sell, it activates it, watch it till it hits 14 pips, close it, change the lot size, boom, re-enter.
So you only do market executions?
Now, yes, I used to put in pending orders, but I don't anymore. I can say I don't anymore, but Dr. T showed us an easier way of doing it, and that's how she showed us. It's easier to do it that way when it's a breakout. Now, if I'm not clear if it's breaking out, I just see a move, I'm gonna put a pending order in. But if it's clearly breaking out, if you can see that it broke your support and resistance line and it's heading towards a 100 pip move or 25 pip move or whatever the case may be, that's when I start implementing the one-click trading. But I wouldn't do a one-click trading when it's, short moves like this. That makes sense?
Yes.
It does. Alfred, I got a quick question. I apologize. I joined late here. So do you always do your markups right at the beginning of the day for the day?
No, I do it for the week. So I do my markups on Sunday, and I let it play itself out for the week.
How many charts?
And you do it on you do it on a D chart, though, the D1 chart for the week?
For gold, I typically do the D1. Well, since gold breaks out so much more than other pairs, I tend to do it on a 1 to 4 hour chart because it breaks out. As you can see, since yesterday it came down 70. It came down like how many pips did it come down since yesterday? 70 pips, and that's a small breakout. I mean, 70 pips is a lot of pips, and the only way you can really catch those smaller moves is marking it up on an hour or the 4 hour. On a day chart, you can't really. I mean, you can gauge the direction and you know what's going to sell, but you can't catch them smaller moves because the candles are so long. And plus, it's a day candle. So in this one day right here was over 200 pips in this one day. So you want to go down to the smaller time frames to be able to see, okay, I could catch like on this is all in one day. So this is about This is about a day's worth of movement right here. So on the day chart, I could have caught it going up 400 pips, and I could have caught it coming down for 80 pips. So that's 180 pips within a day. You can't see that on the day chart. So that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
When you
Too much, so that would have been 12 moves.
Basically, yes.
Lord have mercy.
Are we watching the candle now, guys?
When you mark up your chart for the week, do you do it on a Sunday and you do it from the day, or you do it from the 4 hour normal?
Well, I did it for the day just to show you guys, but on gold, I typically do it from the 4 hour or the hour.
Okay.
For any other pairs, I do on the day because they move a bit slower.
So the suggestion is just to get.
Oh, that's candle. It got rejected, so you guys could have got in. We were talking. But I heard somebody say it, but you could have got in and got. I'm sure it was going to hit 14. But you see what I'm saying, though? After it got rejected, you see what it did? This third candle is the candle you want to look for your entry, because it came, it broke, went back, retested that line, and then that's when it made its move down. So that's what you look for every time you move your lines. So when I move my line here, I'm going to put my line here, right? So now we're going to see what it does when it comes down and touch that line. So you guys could have definitely got your 14 pips had we been looking at it. Did anybody get into that?
Yes,
Where you at as far as pips? As far as pips go?
7 point. Well, it went back up. It was 7.5.
I would have took. If I was you, I would take 7 on that.
No, it went back up to 5. I have to wait till it dropped back down.
No, I'm saying, are you going to take 7 pips though? Were you looking
Yeah,
for 14?
that's what I was gonna ask you. So the suggestion is taking 7 pips, right?
Right.
From mm,
But do you guys get what I'm saying when I say about testing and retesting the line?
yes.
Anybody else have any questions about that? You should have got your 7 right now.
Yes.
See? You see how perfect that setup was?
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you do that every time you see these candles set up, you don't even have to get 14 pips. You can 7 pip it all day. Because all you did was wait for it to break, wait for the second candle to form to see what it was going to do, retest it, then that third candle broke. That's what it does every time. Test, retest, break in the direction. Test, retest, break in the direction. So right now it's testing this line again.
Yeah, I moved my line down, like
Right,
you
so
said.
when this 9 minutes is over, that second candle is going to either try to break through or get rejected and go back up.
So because the daily trend is a sell, would you ever
Go against the trend?
get in for a buy?
Yeah, only for a short move, like on a pullback, you can, by doing the same method, you can get 7 pips on a pullback, but I would never go for anything over 7 to 14 for one
But
move.
can you explain how we would know if
The
it's
same,
pulling back to where we can get the 14 pips?
you would do the same thing you did here. What you would do is, say for instance, okay, it was a sell candle here, but it started pulling back. Once I saw this green candle form, I would have put my line here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once the second candle formed, it was a green candle. That's when I would have jumped in, and I would have got my 14 right there.
Okay, after the second
Because
green candle.
you don't ever want it. Once you start wicking, you don't know what this candle is going to do. This candle can very well wick and break through, but 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, when you see a green, when it's already been buying for a certain amount of time, it's always going to pull back. It's always going to be some resistance in the market. I can almost guarantee when you see a green candle, it's going to pull back. So you can almost, and I don't want you to do this. This is, I mean, it's really up to how comfortable you guys are with this. But if you see a green candle forming, you can almost jump in there immediately and carry that to 7 to 14 pips. Because when the market moves in a certain direction, it always pulls back at some point. So if you move this line here and you see that it's pulling back, you can almost guarantee, I'm not going to say you can, because nothing's guaranteed, but you can guarantee at least 7 pips on the pullback with gold. I can't say that with every other pair, but with gold, you can almost get 7 pips every time.
So would it be safe to say we should use it on one
I can't hear you. Could somebody mute out whoever keep dinging on their computer? Like, what were you saying?
Would it be safe to say that to use it on a clear chart like this?
What do you mean clear? This isn't a clear chart. This is a marked up chart.
Well, opposed to one of Dr. T's templates or the triangle or something.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you trade in a markup chart, you have to use a markup chart.
Okay. Thank you.
Because you can't. It won't make any sense to use all that. It's just too much. It'll be too much stuff. Too much stuff. Yeah, it's hard for me to trade a markup chart with like P stars and all that kind of stuff. It's just too much. Because you already got 100,000 lines on here as it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Would you ever put like your auto flip on your markup chart?
Mm-mm.
Like compare to see how
No.
accurate it is?
Mm-mm. You can if you want to, but I don't. I trust the trend line. I just put it in a different one and compared it that way, but I would never put it over top because you will get two different. I mean, it'd never be perfectly the same. I mean, it's basically saying the same thing as going into a sale, and that's the photo fibs take profits, but it's not going to align perfectly with mine, and it'll just be too much cluster on the charts for me. But you can. I mean, if you mark up a chart and you want to put it on there just to see, I mean, you can do that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, this is what I call a double bottom. You see how it's equally width on the bottom, then it has a head. Typically, they say it's going to be a reverse whenever you see that. So it might pull back. It might pull back after this candle, but we'll see.
Alfred, quick, can you show, you know how when you put the trend lines and you are able to trim them to the size you want versus them being long off the screen? Can you show that again right quick, please?
You mean
It's just a lot.
these right here? This one?
When you,
That
how do
line?
how do you get it to where it makes it the size that you want it to be?
You go to properties and you see this ray.
Thank
just
you.
unclick it.
Gotcha. That's all I needed. Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So it seemed to be breaking through again. So let's see. So you did collect 7 off that one move, right?
Yes,
Did anybody
sir.
else get into that trade?
I collect another 7.
I'm just up
Same
to,
candle?
and that same candle?
You got 7 off this one candle? Or you got it early?
I got 7 off this one candle that we're on right now.
Oh, I thought you said you got another 7. That's what I thought.
No, I'm waiting for another 7.
Got you.
I'm waiting for it to break the resistance.
All right, so we're going, after this one candle, I'm going to have to get off. I hope everybody, if anybody has any questions, I would suggest you ask them right now, please.
When will the recording be ready?
I'll have to get with Keena with that. But it should be uploaded sometime this afternoon, and I have her put it in our group for you guys.
So where would we find the recording? In the Telegram?
Yeah, I'm gonna have her put it in the group for us, for this recording in our group, so we can watch it, or you guys can watch it.
Yeah.
It has to load and all whatever it does before it's ready.
Is there a way to send
Alfred,
it back to my email so I could watch it on my laptop or on my desktop, because I don't.
Yes, you Keena, that she's the admin. She controls all of that. You will have to get with her.
Okay.
So just inbox her and she can get it to you.
Alfred, this was excellent. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, looks like a double bottom if it don't break through.
My pleasure.
This is real good.
So we're going to see what the second candle does. And remember, the second candle most likely is going to be a reversal candle because it's going to want to retest. And once it retests, the third candle is the candle you want to get in on. So I think from this point to this point, which is 31 pips, is going to do this like for the rest of the day. And then once we break, that's when we're going to get our 200 pip move. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that big 200 plus pip move. That's what I want right there.
I will not leave this area until it closes.
It may not happen today, but it may happen. I don't know. It might happen tonight. It just depends on the market, but it's going to happen at some point.
You're going to get it. It's going to happen this week because the Lord know I need it.
Right. And last week, man, it started to break. And then, like I told you, I thought it had to be market manipulation because it was about, 80 pips? And then I jumped, it turned around. I'm like, what? Would they do that? But But yeah, we're gonna get it this week for sure.
We're going to get something because I need it. My daughter want to go to prom last minute, all that. We got to go do this.
For sure, absolutely. Get whatever you need out of this market. This is a God ordained thing right here. People don't realize that this market can change. I ain't gonna say it can. It's going to. If you guys follow, plan, get your 2 or 4 out the way, and leave it at that. There's no way you can't hit $1 million in a few months if you follow that markup chart and follow your that plan that I put out for you guys to do. If you're really aggressive at trading and you have to be in a trade, I suggest you only do 2 trades a day, because what's going to happen is you're going to get your 2 trades and you're going to see something in the market. You're going to jump in and you're going to get your head knocked off and lose all the money, all the progress. I was like that. I'm very aggressive. Very aggressive. I can take 100 trades in a day if possible. But I was getting my head knocked off because, you can't deal in emotions. And I'm the type of person, if I see myself winning, I'm like, man, dude, I'm about to get another 10. You know what I mean? And that's when you're not thinking straight. And that's how you get your head knocked off. So
that's what happened to me last week.
Right. So what you want to do is you want to discipline yourself. You say, okay, since I'm aggressive, I'm going to do 2 and 3 trades, then I'm done. Okay, so you see that second candidate form, what is it doing? Pulling back, right?
It's pulling back.
Exactly what I expected it to do. So what it's going to do is most likely it can either come up and retest the resistance line, which it probably is going to do, and get rejected, come back down, push through. So we'll see.
But you're still going to wait on that second candle, right?
Third candle.
The red one is the first one, then the green one, then another with the next one.
It's the third one, yes.
That would be the third one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So, yep, it does the same thing over and over. Just have to identify it. I'm telling you guys, listen. I'm telling you, if you guys get this, hear me. If you get this, you're going to change your life forever. I just want you guys to understand that. People.
I'm trying to get it right now. I am.
But what I'm saying is, I need you guys to really I need you guys to understand that you guys are worth getting to the other side of money, man. Because like Dr. Tanya always tell us, man, we are chosen. We are a lot of people. We're few out of it's like 3% of the population of the world trades forex, and this is a trillion, like $73 trillion a day industry. It's no way you can take my money. There's no way I can take your money. There's no way Alexis or whoever else can take anybody else's money. It's enough money to go around for everybody. So I really want you guys to focus, take notes, study, getting these charts, know what pairs work. Like I'm putting little stuff in the group for you. I'm putting it there for you guys to read it. I want you to know this stuff. Know what pairs works best or goes against gold or whatever. I need y'all really pay attention to what gold does, and you will change your life forever. You can be able to teach your children, your children's children, generations to come off of just knowing how to trade one pair in forex, one commodity pair. That's all you need to know. And then, once you master this and you get money behind you, then you can do other things. You can, put in trades for days like I love doing, because that's my heart. I'm a swing trader. So once I get to the point where I can just let trades ride, and imagine I had a standard lot on this right here. This one trade I'd have made 10 grand, $10,000 off of just this one trade this morning.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Once we get this down, master this, and get our money up, then we can start venturing out. If you're a swing trader by heart, you can have 3 or 4 accounts. You can have one account when you're doing this, another account when you're holding trades, another account when you're scalping, because you got money to do that. But right now, I just need for everybody to focus on learning this part of it, to the discipline part of it. You know what I'm saying? Get your money out of the market, get out for the day. Close your computer if you have to. Because ain't no need sitting here looking at it because you're going to be tempted. And the devil going to get you, girl, go ahead, boy, go ahead and get that last trade. Actually, you know, you done gave the whole lot of your money
Yes.
back to the market. You know what I'm saying?
And then you're gonna be eager to get back in,
Get
trying
back
to
in.
get the money back.
Lose
And get
more
your head knocked completely off. I
exactly.
think we all been there.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell y'all something.
I was walking around here like the pumpkin, the headless hunter, whatever you call that. Yeah, last week, like, oh my God, I don't believe I did this.
But you know what? It exposes that weakness in the area of discipline.
Right.
And that's where God is dealing with me. And let me tell y'all something. This morning, I don't know if you guys know this preacher, but his name is Apostle Stephen Garner. He is a powerful preacher in prayer. He's done prayer conferences at my church. This morning, he was on Periscope, and his prayer was talking about, he was coming against the spirit of poverty. And would you believe he called out in his prayer about those of us that are traded in Forex for God to help us to be successful, that we find the right setups. That let me just tell you that we get the pips that we're looking for. I've posted it in Freedom for Forex, and they already approved it, so it's out there. You guys have to hear that.
I'm gonna go check that out. I just got chills.
Let me tell you something.
He
gave scriptures coming against poverty. Once you get past his first part where he's kind of talking about what they're doing in the city, and he starts teaching against poverty and talking about laziness will lead you to poverty, and how sometimes we be sleeping and the opportunities come and we miss it because we sleeping. Let me tell y'all something. I was running around the house hollering this morning, just in complete disarray, thinking about what he was saying. It will bless you. And by the way, I'm in profit. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
You waiting for that pullback?
Yeah, sure did.
Me too.
7?
I'm at
Almost
4.5.
Yep. Well, I'm probably at about 5 right now. Let me just see. Let me measure this right quick where this is.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, 3.
I will close out because I'm thinking once it, I don't know.
Do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, because
All
it's
right.
wick now. See, it's wicking, so I will probably get out.
I'm out. I got about 3.5, 4 pips, and I'm happy with that.
It's starting to pull back again. So
yep,
got 8 minutes on that candle, so I wouldn't go any further with that.
It pulled back real strong too. I want to see what it was gonna do.
Alfred, I have a question. At some point, can we practice marking up the charts?
Yeah, we can
like individually.
It's gonna have to be
what day?
Sunday. Only mark up on Sundays.
Okay.
And I can't tell you when because I know I'm scheduled to work next Sunday. So it's gonna have to be a Sunday that I'm off. Because I typically work all day on Sunday. Well, not typically, but just recently they got me working, which I hate, working all day on Sunday. So I get going at 8 and I'll get up to about 12 that night. So
what I actually meant was us individually showing you to see if we're doing it properly.
Sure, you guys can mark up and send it to me at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that at any time. And I can kind of try to go over it and see, because I can't get on the Zoom individually with people. But yeah, absolutely. I already had sending me.
Or like our Zoom today, where I share my screen and show everybody the markups or what I'm doing, and you critique.
Oh yeah, when we're on, absolutely, we can do that.
Yeah, so it won't be too much pressure on you. It's a lot of us, so.
Right. Yeah, we can do that. We can start doing that Wednesday if you guys want to mark up a few charts. And Wednesday when we get on at 6, we can do that. Just go over everybody's charts, try to figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I take everybody is good on their questions because I have some things I need to get taken care of.
Thank you. It's good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfred.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks for everything.
No problem. If you guys have any other questions, just hit me up on Telegram or something, and then we can try to figure that out.
All righty.
All right, cool.
Bye-bye.
Have a great one. Bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Mhm.
Have a good day.